Hello and good day. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. And in this AI automation agency Google SEO video, what I want to go ahead and answer for you is a question that I literally just got. I was working with a new client and they signed up with an AI automation agency. So I want to go through the conversation. I want to point out some of the tips for my client or potential client. I want to cover some of the things that their agency is getting right, and then how they can actually start getting more traffic and leads to utilize those AI systems. So I don't want to waste any time. I really just want to share, yes, these AI agencies, the automation agencies, at least from my standpoint and what I'm looking at, right? This was a personal injury lawyer. It's in a small town. Well, let's just say it's in Louisiana, like Baton Rouge. So it's a city, but it's not Philadelphia or Los Angeles, right? They have all the automations and all the systems. So these systems include, and your automations or your systems or how you do things could be different. But these systems include, and bear with me here, I actually wrote down to keep everything in chronological order and answer my clients' questions from what the agency is doing and what they're getting right, what they're getting wrong. I'd like to give you some facts related to the actual AI platforms, which ones are most useful, maybe within your own business, and how they're leveraging Google. So don't just stop utilizing Google. Don't think that Google is still not a tool for search, for calls, for leads. It certainly is. And I want to show some interesting findings based on that. I also want to point out to you how you can win. All right. What you need to do to win moving into 2027. And then the very last thing, I'll give you a step-by-step, I'll give you a tutorial. I'll point out one aspect, one actual step-by-step of exactly what to do, a tactical, a strategy. All right. So first and foremost, this particular agency, yes, they're automating, but they're automating what? Email. Okay. Here, give me 1 second. And I keep talking to business owners. This is probably, I don't get that many, but probably the third this week that has more focus on AI and automation, and it's good, than what is actually important for their small business, their local business, and what's actually going to push the ball up the field. All right. And that's why I'm making this video, because it keeps happening. So first, let's do this. All right. All right. So I want to point out, yes, they are getting the email correct. All right. And email could be a number of things. They're doing follow-ups. They're doing sales sequence, right? They're answering questions, utilizing automation. And most agencies that I've ran into so far, at least this particular person that's about to sign up, it's just go high level, right? But let's get through this. So what are the things that they're doing right or what they should be doing, all right? SMS. So this could be sales or for informational, right? Customer support, sales. So SMS, text messaging. This can also be brand awareness or marketing campaigns, right? Maybe discounts, buy one, get ones. You with me? So SMS and email are both advertising and for servicing your customers. And yes, you can automate this. The next step that I see that they're doing right is going to be the actual sales. And this could be done either live on the actual site, right? I'm seeing a lot of processes where, I hate to use this example, almost like a Tinder swipe, those quiz forms, swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right. It's almost an engagement system. I've seen videos with this type of system, a quiz system that work really, really well as far as an automation. So you're taking a quiz while there's a video. Brilliant. I absolutely love it. But you could set this up. So there's video, sales, and then let's just not forget there's follow-up email, follow-up SMS, customer support, and they get this all right. And that is great. But at the end of the day, email, SMS, sales SMS, the video sales, you can achieve this with relatively very low-cost companies. Even what's a well-known one that you might know? They might not have all the tools and all the functionality, but even MailChimp can do SMS. They plug right in the Twilio. I could do the SMS, the emails, the follow-up. I could do the video conferencing call. I can do the landing pages for what? $90 a month, $80 a month. I don't need an agency to do that, right? If your agency is only firing up Go high level and setting up automations for non-existent traffic, that's why you're having a problem. Don't chase or listen to, oh, everything's going to AI. I'm losing business. I'm not going to get anything. I need to go spin my wheels here. No, you need to make your brand present, become the authority for the services and the products you provide in the locations you provide them. Okay. And then we can start. The best problem is too many customers, and I want to automate it to make their lives better. That's a good problem to have, right? So here's what they do right, but they're focusing too much on this automation and not the automation of brand and authority. Here, I want to point out an interesting fact here. Come take a look at this, all right? So I see a lot of talk getting away. Oh, it's not Google search. It's going to be, ChatGPT. It's going to be Claude. It's going to be Gemini, which is Google anyway. But here, take a look at this. I just took these screenshots just to prove this out, just to showcase something. Here's what's very interesting. And I showed this to my client just before. Not these screenshots, but very similar. All right. If you zoom in on this here, take a look at this. All right. If I zoom in here, see this? All right. Now I took this just moments ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. See, this is Claude AI. So when you first log in, there's a login screen, there's the main platform, there's an app, and yes, you can make all kinds of stuff. But take a look at this. They are getting lots of organic traffic. In fact, they're paying for 2,000 keywords. Look at this paid traffic, 450,000. 2,000 keywords, 450,000 visits. Claude's great, but even they can see the value of Google and Google search. You see the problem, and here's another example for you. ChatGPT, even better, right? I thought they were a nonprofit. What's going on, Sam? Right? ChatGPT, OpenAI, very dominant. I like Grok and Gemini, but even take a look at this. See the organic traffic? Yes. Excellent. Wonderful. But see this? Paid traffic, 66.3 million, 184,000 keywords. See, us as local business owners and small business owners, I can't even fathom this bill, right? If my bill goes above $500 for the month, I start getting a little crazy, but that's me, right? In any case, they're seeing the value of traffic and in search. The problem of why you're looking for new shiny is because of the zero click, okay? Zero click snippets. And I'm sure people have talked to you about this to ad nauseum, correct? So what you need to do is understand those zero clicks. What exactly is taking my traffic if it's not organic pages or my maps listing, right? We can see the AI companies are doing ads, so obviously that's a good idea. But you need to understand this part here. Here's the shift. I just got some information for you so I can explain it better, okay? Come down here. So we know I blurred out the name that did the little click, the little test, but you could see the drop. At the end of the day, all searches last year or 2 years ago was 93% was Google. Now it's 85%, right? Well, where did they go? All of the actual searches went to either zero click or they're utilizing AI. But 18 to 27 is what's using the AI, right? Like my grandma Charlene's not logging on to ChatGPT to wonder what the recipe is. Nah, she still goes to Google. And 85% of all searches still go to Google, right? I digress. Let's go down this list here. So if we want to start breaking in or start becoming the authority, it's great to have this. Email, SMS, we have our pages up. And there's automation, and we can automate the sales and the delivery and the follow-ups and all that stuff. That's great. I can achieve that for $100 a month, right? You with me? I could buy a tool. What is it? Bluebird, MailChimp, Twilio. What system do you want? All of the things that we're automating, I can go and do for fractions of the cost. I don't need to pay somebody to do that for me or to help me with that. Where the value is, right? Value is understanding how do I achieve more of these zero clicks? The ones that I'm losing, how do I get them? Well, we have to start breaking these down. See, understanding the zero click or understanding how AI is giving results is that they're just pulling from multiple vectors, right? So the results are based upon multiple vector types. I'm sorry to nerd out on you, but let's go through this and I can share with you some tips and then I'm going to give you a tutorial. Okay. Bear with me here. So artificial intelligence, these are going to be the zero clicks. Where do they come from? Like, who's taking my traffic? If they're not reading my articles, they're not going to my Google business profile posts. How do I get my customers back? It's a disservice for you not to get your customers back, right? Take a look. Artificial intelligence overviews, okay? Interactive summaries. So here, I want to point this out. Now, there's more than one way to win these. And I'm gonna break these down for you because each of these overviews are different vectors. Each vector has a type of content or a type of input in order to answer that overview. Are you with me? For instance, if I want to start winning these, okay, the big overviews, yes, I can do it with video. Yes, I can do it with podcast. But a great way of going about winning this here, textual or lexical, is what I believe they call it. Here, we'll do it like this. I'll zoom in like this. Is by creating articles that aren't based upon actual websites, but based upon the prompts that the brand and the authorities in your space are getting traffic for. For instance, take a look at this. All right. Come on down here. This is a tool called SEMrush. A lot of the tools work the same. Okay. I really like SEMrush. No, I'm not affiliated. It doesn't matter which tool you use. Okay. But take a look at this. This is a law firm that I compete with no matter what state I go to or who I work with. You know, to me, I call this the done data. So when I'm looking for the blueprint for success, AKA, where's the deficit? Like, okay, for the people, show me the blueprint for success. So when we start associating ideas, topics, terms, images, video, audio to a brand, that's how Google and other similarity-based engines start to understand, hey, this brand is synonymous with these services. He or she that answers all questions and answers the questions consistently and persistently the longest, that's the authority. You with me? Excellent. So if we take a look here inside of this tool, how you can pull this up for yourself. And again, you can use any tool you want. I have no skin in the game. SEMrush is just easy for me. I've been using it for too long. I don't want to give up my age, but more than 5 years. Okay. So for the people, very large personal injury law firm, we're going to look at organic rankings over here to the left-hand side. See how we're looking for this here? SF. So this is called SERP features. So I'm looking for the zero click. Hey, how is Google giving this answer, right? So they're going to their memory bank, vectors, video, audio, text, PDFs, right? They're pulling from multi-vector, giving a zero result based upon the data set that they have, correct? Their data set is so vast and so knowledgeable that Grok, OpenAI, any of these other tools, their data only goes back to what, 2023, 2024? Then they have to do a live search. From where? Google, right? Oh, what's the information? Google will feed it to them, right? In most cases, not always. I digress. Let's move forward here. So when we're doing this search to understand what words, ideas, and topics we want to start becoming synonymous with, we need to understand who the winner is in our space. And we want to look at this. This is just lexical for the overview. Here, let's do this together. For the people, we put this here, organic rankings. Okay. We scroll on down the page. And as you can see here, I have the intent. All right. Information and commercial. Now, the true best, in my opinion, is what I call blended SERPs. Blended SERPs are a commercial intent that are associated with information. My favorite, information-assisted selling. But the reason why this is generally the best is because these links have a call to action or a click to go to site, sometimes maybe a video. Are you with me so far? These are more valuable generally. So what we want to do is we do information and commercial. I'm looking for a SERP feature that has been zero click, right? And then the other filter that I've done here is I'll take away their name. So you'll come to advanced filter, exclude a keyword containing their name. So, okay. Now, I want to take a look for keywords that have their name and terms that do not. Or better yet, new SEOs, they call these prompts. Most people are chasing sites. No, I'm looking to associate every vector type with the prompts that my competition has so I can start becoming the authority in whatever vertical that you're in. For instance, we take a look at these here. Florida Statute of Limitations. Now, this is a blog that they have, but they're getting a 0-click. It's not a brand, right? They have the best answer. Well, why is that? Because not only did they say it on their website, an authority asset, but this has also been said on guest posts, listicles, videos, inside of podcasts. Are you with me so far? And this page here is probably getting hyperlinks or has been embedded or is getting traffic when talking about Florida Statute of Limitations. All right. To give this a more tactical or a strategy or an easy to implement strategy, let's just use this one little tiny term. Better yet, let's scroll down the list and look for the best, a blended. All right. See this? All right. I might pronounce this wrong. I am not a PI. All right. I'm an SEO. But hematoma versus contusion. All right. Now, of course, the authority first has to say it on our own asset, right? Nothing's more authoritative than your own assets. Okay. But bear with me. Let's just use this term here. All right. So we're going to take this. And then how would we start to win the 0-click and be more authoritative for this term and similar terms related to this? You can't just go after one. You can. But let me give you a preview. All right. We're going to come over here to the drawing board. And remember, we're just trying to affect this right here, but this all works together. All right. Now, I could show you actual assets, but for sake of time, what we're going to do is I'm just going to come over here. All right. Now, note, remember, we want to win or become synonymous with this type of service, which of course has to do with personal injury. Bear with me here. Let me zoom in on this. We're going to go up. All right, great. Zoom in some more. All righty. I apologize. Streaming, it slows us down. And it is summertime. It is cooking in here. Let's hurry this up. All right. So hematoma versus contusion. So versus, it can be information and commercial based. Aha. Right? When you're creating your articles, I'm not just going to take one. All right. This is one. But now that I have the screen fixed, let's keep going. All right. So what's related? Okay. Let's just take these. Anything they get a 0 search as a prompt. I don't care if it's generating a click or not yet. It's just like when I want to start winning a term or if I'm running traffic, right? Say a page ranks for car accident lawyer, Louisiana. Okay. Let's just say hypothetically, they win the head term, but in order to be a winner, they also rank for another 500 terms. They're getting traffic for 100 terms. So that's where a lot of people that were practicing gray hat SEO didn't understand the concept. You know, I don't just run traffic and build backlinks for a Louisiana truck accident lawyer. No, I'm matching and mirroring, finding deficits based upon traffic and referring domains. Does that make sense? See, to be a winner, I can't just win one term. I have to win them all, and I need to get traffic for all. Well, when we're building co-citation, it's the same exact thing. Are you with me so far? Excellent. So these aren't related, but for sake of time, let me show you how this would be implemented on a drawing. All right. So we start looking down this list. Okay. And let's just say, okay, we know that this is a winner. Bear with me here. I'm doing this live with you. All right. So there's one. And yes, there's tools to speed this up, but I'm old school. I like to do it the hard way. All right. I'm sure you know a faster way of doing things like this. I see a lot of related things, but that's not what we're after. This is just example. All right. So we're looking for anything that has 0-click that they've talked about on their website. They're associating themselves to these terms and these phrases, and they're generating traffic, and Google's rewarding them with a 0-click. In fact, it produces 149 hits every single month, right? It could be a visit or at least visibility, right? According to SEMrush. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab these. And again, you want to get stuff that's related, and you'll see why in a second. Now, bear with me here. Okay. Just give me one little moment. So we know that these are the prompts or the ideas, topics that are going to be related to for the people. In this instance, a direct competitor. What makes them the authority? Well, they have the answer for all of these questions related to their topic. In this case, personal injury law. All right. Stick with me. All right. We're just cleaning this up so it can make a little bit more sense. All right. Now, all right. So this is a actual page, a page, a page. Now these could be considered prompts, or in my personal opinion, these are going to be exactly what we talk about. And I'll share with you what I mean by this. All right. So these topics and ideas are related to personal injury law, correct? And they're not 100% related because I just grabbed them, but we know that they're getting 0 click based on these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ideas, correct? Our very next step, technically 7, right? Because of this. Uh-oh, don't do that, Mr. Palmer. Should I buy a new mouse? I don't know. Here. I just want it to be big. Is that so much to ask? All right, don't worry about it. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ideas. So how would we start to associate our brand, our business, and our services to these prompts that we know are being 0 clicked and being won by our competition, generating traffic, clicks, and leads, and giving them more authority? Why is it authority? Because they are the answer for these questions. That's the goal. The expert makes statements. Are you with me? Let's keep going. So we have our 6. Now, let's draw these a little bit smaller so you get the general idea. When I'm creating my post, okay, I want to show you something. All right. So let's just say we go out here and now we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Bear my drawing. I apologize. It'll all make sense. Just bear with me here. 5 and 6. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like that one better. All right. Take this right here. Get rid of this. Chris, you don't use this whiteboard that much, do you? Yeah. How could you tell? In any case, these are 6 posts. All right. These are guest posts. Now, I'm not going to get too far lost in the weeds, but I need you to understand that it's no longer a game of referring domains. It's a game of relevance. Relevance is rank. Traffic is not page rank. Okay. So when we're talking about acquiring assets, yes, I would love to get a link that has 200 referring domains. Okay. Just bear with me here. 200 referring domains that's in the category of law. Okay. That is in the society. Okay. Automotive could work. All right. These are the categories or the link graph that my competitor is building links into. What do I mean by this? Bear with me here so it can make some sense for you. See, For the People, a law firm, is connected to all other law sites that are winners in what is called the link graph, just like they're connected in the lexical graph, text. It's not a coincidence that winners rank and get traffic for a lot of the same key terms and prompts, right? Same for the links. But here's what I mean by category. So we put the website in here. This is SEMrush. We come on down to our backlinks, referring domains in this case. Okay. Little Chris and I are going to make some stop animation here soon. We go here, we go to category, see online service, legal, mass media, and info technology. So online service, legal, mass media, we want to get spread, and info technology. If I go and look at other law firm sites that are winners, they're in the same link graph. This is a key piece of information for staying relevant. So we're building websites. I don't care about DR. I care about referring domains that are in law, okay? Online services, okay? And then Mass media. Mass media could be your press releases, Forbes's mass media, you with me? Journals, magazines, authoritative sites. Also, some directories show up as mass media. I digress. So we have 200 hyper category specific referring domains. All right. That's one link. You with me? This could be a guest post. The guest post is built up of what? Well, let's just build this out. Let me just show you something. So when you get a guest post, what's on the guest post? Well, I'll tell you. A title, right? More also a URL. I know this is simple to some, but bear with me. All right. URL, title, H1, H tags, right? So H tags are optimization zones. Also, embeds, correct? And then alongside of that, we are going to have text and density, all right? And then lastly, you're going to have what is called A tags or hyperlinks, okay? Now, when I'm building this page here, remember, I'm about to get a link from this website, correct? Now, me as a business owner has one goal and one goal only, to become the authority and make sure my brand is relevant to the services, the products, and the locations I provide them in, right? When we look at a page's dichotomy, we can quickly understand that the URL is going to contain a primary keyword. In this case, how about unfair firing lawyers? Okay, unfair firing lawyers. This is something that has a zero click that our competitor has. Great. That will be in the URL. What is unfair firing lawyer list? Who knows? You're creative. I'm just getting through the process here. Next, the title. Well, let's not forget, this list is not relevant because I was in a rush, but generally this list would be prompts that are all related to each other. That way, when I'm going to build my campaigns, everything's related. It saves me time. But for example, take a look at this. My title, class action lawsuit, attorneys, right? My H1 and other H tags would have these other prompts and ideas. The embed would be my Google Maps listing. Are you with me so far? So now I have a map. Okay, take this. I have my map embed. Okay. A tags or hyperlinks, my favorite part. The hyperlinks or A tags, well, we're going to use these prompts. And if you look closely, tokenize it, take away stop words, the, if, a, what you'll see is it's all primary terms and LSI and co-occurring key phrases. So when we're building our guest posts, category specific, embed, image, video, where's the image come from? How about YouTube or Facebook? With me? Where does the embed come from? YouTube, our branded YouTube, or our website? Are you with me? Where does the map embed come from? Google Maps. Lastly, the text and the density is high density for these terms. The A tags, the hyperlinks we've already covered, will link back to the website using these as the anchor text. So now what I've done is I have one link, one site. This is the page for this. It has 200 referring domains that are category specific. I build an article targeting the prompts, the ideas, the topics that are related to my leading competitor. I've then used hyperlinks, embeds, videos, and images in order to tie it to my other assets. And that's only one. You see, we're not going to do this one time because generally when you take a look at a winner, 1 second, bud. 1 second, buddy. 2 seconds. I'm about to be done. Last idea. When you take a look at this here, I got to rock and roll. My little guy just got here. Take a look. All right. If we go back one, let me show you something. Then we're out of here. If you take a look at these real quick, we take away the brand and we just take a look. If they're creating branded content if they're winning branded prompts or topic ideas or zero clicks that are brand plus a term, we want our brand plus that term. We're not following referring domains. We're following topics and ideas. Why? Topics, ideas, images, video, and audio have entity ID. Entity ID and machine readable entity ID makes associations. We're associating topics and ideas to our brand, business, and service. What is locations? An M code. An M code is a machine readable entity ID. That's why we're tying in the embeds, the GBPs. Are you with me so far? Now, when I take a look at this, look at 7,000 of them that have the zero click. That's 7,000. We group them by idea and we build them. So when we're building our referring domains, we know that every 9 months, Google doesn't value them anymore, right? That's why it doesn't make sense to spend $1,000 per link. But if I'm able to spend 20 to 50 and build these articles like this that are category specific and link to my assets, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and I'm targeting the prompts and the ideas and the topics and tying it into my maps, this is why you would take these posts and not build 6, but we build 200 or 100, tying in all the prompts and all of the ideas. And this is what the agencies are missing. They're automating or they're doing the back end once you get the people and the visibility. This is one step of starting to become the authority and building your brand. All right. Now, we've only talked about building into the lexical graph. This is text-based. This is only one vector type. But in order to be a true authority, I need to have the answer in multiple vectors: multimedia, video, audio, image. I need to showcase that I'm the expert in these locations for these services, for these products in every vector type. And how I distribute this content is through, number one, my asset, and then any other authoritative asset, including, this will be the last thing, all right? This process, the content, the videos, in this case, we were writing it, but when you have a video idea, well, what am I covering? Covering these prompt types, these ideas, these topics. When I'm doing a podcast or audio, I'm reading the page, covering these topics, these ideas. When I create images, well, what are they images of? Well, they're images of these types of products or services. Are you with me? And what we're looking to do is we're looking to answer every vector type: podcast, audio, video. What we talked about here was text-based in referring domains from guest posts or blogs or listicles. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. This will be part 1 of AI Automation Agency, how you can utilize local SEO to dominate Google into 2027. Wow, the years are passing. I love you so much. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in part 2. We'll start talking about social media and how to tie this together. I'll show you some more examples. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.